Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. Welcome back to another News I Missed, where I go over news I missed. As always, leaving a comment, leaving a like, or subscribing. All these things do help with the channel. If you are interested in that all helping the channel, thank you very much. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Federal Reserve officials will now be prohibited from investing in a slew of assets, including Bitcoin, as per new rules shared by the Federal Open Market Committee in a Friday statement. They said the rules, which were first introduced in October 2021, aim to support public confidence in the impartiality, I'm pretty sure that's it, impartiality and integrity of the committee's work by guarding against even the appearance of any conflict of interest. For those of you who are wondering why they would ban anyone from the Federal Reserve or working inside of the Fed from dealing in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or any other things, it's because over the last couple of years, there has been a very controversial thing going on where people have realized, now I'm going off of what I've seen in the news, that allegedly a number of people in the Senate and in Congress within the United States seem to be making really good trades at really good times in tons of different markets. I.e., remember the beginning of 2020 when everybody was like completely going insane and all the stock markets were falling down? Well, it turns out a lot of officials actually had sold off their assets around 3 days before the rest of us got any news that something was happening, and they were cashing out millions of dollars, so they knew something, allegedly, before the rest of us did. There's even a new trend going around where people are actually following the stock portfolios of people in the Senate and in Congress, because for some reason, they keep on winning. Regardless of where the market is going, they know exactly when to sell, they know exactly when to short, making $4, $5, $15 million trades at the drop of a dime, drop of a hat, something. But yes, it's a huge conflict of interest because the idea is you are supposed to be public servants. You are put into office by us voting for you. Therefore, you should be serving the public, not making sure that you have a $100 million stock portfolio. Effective on the 1st of May, senior Fed officials won't be able to invest in stocks, sector funds, bonds, agency securities, cryptocurrencies, commodities, foreign currencies, derivative contracts, or securities per the statement. I think the last I heard is that they were thinking about implementing the exact same thing for Congress, but apparently it's going to take a long time for them to all get together at the same time and fill out the paperwork. It's just very daunting, and it'll take way too long for them to really have any type of consensus on the matter. And I think even, I forgot exactly what it was, but I think it's something along the lines of if anyone is found guilty or appears like they may have done something fraudulent in some of the markets, I think they receive a $200 fine. That's not 200,000. That is $200, and I watched the video talking about it, and I realized just how insane it was, because if you manage to make $1 million on a trade, you don't really care about paying $200 at all. It means absolutely nothing to you. The new rules represent a step up from old provisions that prohibited Fed officials from holding bank accounts and Treasury securities, as well as engaging in financial transactions during a blackout period around FOMC meetings. Do I think this will have any major effect? Not really. Here's the actual press release, if you will, right here. I have a feeling that the reason why it was chosen as cryptocurrencies, stocks, and bonds, and all these other things is because they probably, hear me out, probably have other investment vehicles that they go, okay, well, we can't use those 7. We can still use those 5 over there. Very fascinating time to be alive, especially as, not only all the things that are happening in the world, but as we slowly, more so than ever before, realize that the people who are in charge don't usually actually do much. They simply make sure that they come out as the winners every single time. So, of course, this was quite popular news. once again, I think the wording of it is very particular, in that you would scream loudly like many other people in the cryptocurrency space have done before and say, I hate XRP, I hate Litecoin, I hate Solana. But Bitcoin and Ethereum look really, really nice in my portfolio. I think it's kind of one of those things. So we will see on the 1st of May. It would have been a little bit more effective had it come immediately. But by the end of this year, we will see if this has actually worked. Look up that $200 fine thing. If you made $14 million and someone stops you and go, hey, give me $200, you would go, sure. Do you want it in tens, 20s, or hundreds? Actually, you know what? Take 500 and get out of my face. Anyway, that's the Federal Reserve officials are now prohibited from trading bonds, stocks, and cryptocurrencies. And yeah, let's move on. Next up, XRP whale addresses holding over 10 million tokens, wow, or more, have managed to accumulate close to 900 million XRP, worth around $700 million at the time of writing, since December of 2021, in the second largest accumulation they have made over the last 5 years. Do you remember? You must have. Over the last 6 or 7 months, all the coins have been dropping, going down, maybe sideways dropping at the exact same time. In the same moments, we have continued to get news that there is not only less Bitcoin on cryptocurrency exchanges, whale addresses and institutions are buying up huge amounts of Ethereum and then subsequently also already locking it up into Ethereum 2.0. Remember around 3 weeks ago when we had news that there was a really weird Cardano was dropping one day, but these whales were buying hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Cardano over the course of a 24-hour period. I think that logically, a lot of people, once again, we've spoken about this before as far as the speculation as to where these prices could go. If they have any inkling that the prices could increase, will increase, or that a potential $3 million investment could balloon to $35 million, they're going to take it. I find all of this very fascinating, that as we are, in this really weird period where prices are going down, we get nonstop good news every single day that the whales are accumulating like more than in the past 5 years, excuse me. Anyway, yeah, here's the little chart right here as well from Sentiment, where you can see the actual accumulation. No, it's not weird at all, actually. It just makes total sense. I was discussing with someone how whales actually do this and how they can kind of even make the market seem like it's not really going anywhere. There are many other ways, but one of them is like a sell wall, to make it seem as if there's a huge amount of sell orders at a certain price, but it takes forever to actually work your way through this. And at the same exact time, anything that may be a 40-cent XRP, they don't really care. They will buy it for 45 cents simply because they know if XRP goes up to $3, they've made a huge amount of money. If it goes up to $15, the difference between 40 cents and 45 cents means absolutely nothing to them. However, if you're looking at the actual charts and you see that large 40-cent sell wall, you go, well, no one's really buying. Anyway, that's the whales continue to buy up massive amounts of cryptocurrencies every single day. Hope everyone is in some way paying attention. And yeah, let's move on. Also in very popular news, it says, who's one step closer to regulating cryptocurrencies? Brazil. The Senate committee, more specifically the Committee on Economic Affairs, settled on a bill. It aims to regulate crypto transactions in Brazil. For the bill to become law, it has to be approved in the Senate plenary and then by the Chamber of Deputies. If it goes through those two hoops, then the law goes into effect 180 days after publication. Even though regulation still seems very far away, it's good to remember that the bill started its journey just 5 months ago, when the whole world thought aim was to declare Bitcoin legal tender. News BTC used online transactions to get to the bottom of the story. Wow. At the time, we quoted Brazil's premier Bitcoin journalist, Saori Honorato, Around the future of the bill, they said, last week, the bill was approved by a special committee of the Chamber of Deputies and now goes to the Chamber's plenary. If approved by deputies, it advances to the Senate and to be discussed once more, and if approved, goes for the president. This is now, it's a bit too obvious if you put it into context. The amount of countries so remember at the beginning of this year, one of I don't remember who it was. It wasn't Novogratz, but it was one of those, levels of people, announced that they thought that this year was going to be excellent for the cryptocurrency space. They said they expected tons of regulatory sweep-throughs around the entire market, different countries approving it, regulating it, taxing it, and basically saying, okay, you can go for it. Cryptocurrencies are now completely legal within the country. Even this month, this is like the 7th or 8th country that I can remember off the top of my head who is also doing it. So the idea has always been, if we get proper cryptocurrency regulations and the richest of the richest of the richest know exactly how they can put their money into the market, and if they do take their money out of the market, exactly how much they're going to be taxed, well then, by golly, the market will do exceptionally well. But this is why I said it seems a little interesting that for some reason over the last 4 years, every single country had a major problem with crypto. And then it became this really weird, we're going to regulate it. None of them gave actual proper regulation news. And then for some reason this year, they're now all jumping over themselves to not only give cryptocurrency regulations, but also talking about launching and or soft launching their central bank digital currencies this year as well. So wonderful. Oh, also don't forget, last month, we had news that Facebook, now Meta, is, I think they applied for multiple different patents within Brazil to try and make Meta legal there as well. So, it's all, 1 + 1 = 11 and all that other stuff. Anyway, that's the Brazil cryptocurrency regulation news. And yeah, let's moving on. And to finish things off, California has joined the list of states in the United States that are looking to use Bitcoin for tax payments. Senator Kamlager of California introduced a bill that would bring changes to the state's code law to apply for the acceptance of cryptocurrencies. The new bill would authorize state agencies to accept cryptocurrencies as a method of payment for government services. Wild, right? The proposed payment legislation is as follows. It says SB 1275 is introduced, and that's way too much to read. The bill would authorize a state agency to accept cryptocurrency as a method of payment for the provision of government services. Additionally, political advisors of the state are pushing a proposal to make Bitcoin legal tender, which is not going to happen. Like, literally don't hold your breath, because I'm pretty sure it says somewhere in the Constitution or some other piece of paper, only the US dollar is legal tender within the United States. So I could see Bitcoin's already legal within America, but it's more of you can use it to buy things, but as far as legal tender, I don't really think so. This is unrelated and completely and separate from the bill put forward by Cam Lager. Twitter is abuzz with the conversation regarding this government move favoring cryptocurrency. So yeah, it was Utah, it was Wyoming, I believe Colorado, and now we have California. I'm surprised that Miami's not a state. I'm surprised that Florida hasn't done this, and you got the mayor of New York talking about how much he loves Bitcoin. I'm surprised it also hasn't been a law there as well. Eventually, I think this will take years, but eventually every state will have hyper-legalized Bitcoin. You will be able to use it for anything that you kind of want. I think the next real move by states in general would be to make sure that if you use Bitcoin to buy something, that you are not taxed on it. I am never going to use my Bitcoin if when I buy a $680 television, random number, that I got to pay 10, 15, 20% taxes on it. That makes no sense. This will never happen. Anyway, cool. So go for it. I hope it eventually works out for everyone involved. Listen, it's been 2 weeks. And we've heard from already 4 different states. So I assume, out of 50 of them, there's at least 3 more somewhere in the wings waiting for next week to also announce that they're going to be doing the exact same thing. So golf clap to them in their efforts to try and make Bitcoin used for taxes. Alrighty, let's move on. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be right now. I do sincerely hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, supporting, liking, clicking, commenting. That's another one. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.